Okay, Route 3, because I'm gonna get to Route 2 in a minute. Route 3 is pretty much the same. There's a couple of fire breathers there, not much to see. And there's the Pest! Indeed, you can find him the very second you walk into Mount Moon. He has his old team, so good strong Pokemon will take care of it. His old Sneasel and Golbat or whatever, and his starter. But every one of his creatures is over level 40. Okay, as for Mountain Moon, there's not much else there. There is a strange little clearing inside the mountain. And on Monday night, sometime, I guess midnight, Monday night or something, you can go up to this little garden in that clearing, and there will be Clefairies dancing around. Keep in mind that you have to have a Pokemon with Rock Smash, because if there's a rock that they jump around, the Clefairy jump around, and under it there's a Moonstone, which evolves Clefairies. In Route 4, there's not much. There's a few trainers, and then there's an HP up. It's a way to get to Cerulean City. And yeah, okay, Route 2. This place has a Viridian Forest with it, but the forest is, like many other places, has been shrunken to size. So it's just part of the route. You can find a poison cureberry tree inside the forest. There's also a max potion and a dire hit in the forest. There's also a few trainers in the route. And there's a house where a guy gives you a nugget, and that's pretty nice. And also at the bottom right hand corner of the map, there's an elixir. Okay. Now, Viridian City. Pretty much nothing to see here, except for in the middle of the city there's this big building, and if you go inside it, there's a trainer with a Typhlosion, a Meganium, and a Feraligatr, all level 50. So if you want some training, you have some training to do, then that's a good place to go. If you have the right Pokemon, that is. And you can only fight them once a day. So, the gym, there's no one in the gym for the time being, the first time you get to Viridian City. So the best way to do things is to go, you can't get to, Cinnabar Island from Fuchsia City because there's some rocks in the way. So to get to Cinnabar Island, you have to go through Route 1 to Pallet Town to Route 21. Route 1 has a Bitterberry tree and a couple trainers. As for Pallet Town, you can go to Blue or Gary's house. Blue's house has his sister, and his sister will groom your Pokemon from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Just one of them. And yeah, but you can only have one Pokemon groomed per day. You can also check in with Professor Oak there in Pallet Town to see, see about your Pokédex, how it's doing. Get a little advice from him. Now, as for the routes around Cinnabar Island, there's just swimmers there, not much to see. I think there's like half as many swimmers as there used to be. And the routes are rather cut down. And the Seafoam Islands are very small. Cinnabar Island has suffered from volcanic eruption, so the only thing there is a Pokemon Center. But the Pokemon Gym, Blaine's Pokemon Gym, which only has Blaine himself, is in the one island the Seafoam Island, and he has his signature Magmar and a couple other fire types. So he's much more of a pushover than before, even though his Magmar does have Thunder Punch. So keep an eye out when you're using water type, or you can just use a ground type and just beat them. When you visited Fuchsia City earlier, you couldn't get to Cinnabar Island because of construction work. After you approach the road from the Cinnabar side, the work will be completed, and you'll be able to go back and forth between Fuchsia City and Cinnabar Island. But of course, I prefer to use Fly. So, also, Blue happens to be in Cinnabar Island the first time you get there. So you talk to him, and he'll go back to his gym. He's pretty much the same as before, with his, Alakazam, Rhydon, Pidgeot, Arcanine, and such. I think he has Gyarados too. He has 6 Pokemon, so they're in the high 50s. But he's still quite a threat, because most of the gym trainers have Pokemon in the 40s. But with Red, the final battle person, he's in Mount Silver, which I will show you a picture of right now. Or actually, to get to that Mount Silver, you have to beat all of the gym trainers, go to Professor Oak. He will let you go through there. So you go to Route 22, then pass through the Pokemon League gate, and then you can get to Route 28. Route 28 takes you to Mount Silver. It's a fairly long road that's not densely populated by trainers, but it has a lot of wild Pokemon. There's in the northern side of it, like if you navigate around, there's a girl in a house, and she gives you Steel Wing. That's nice. There's also a Pokemon Center in outside Mount Silver, which just so happens to be the Mount Silver happens to be in Johto, so you can fly over to Tin Tower, having the Rainbow Wing. Now, Mount Silver, I'll show you a couple pictures of that place right now. There's a lot of items to get, especially in Pokemon Crystal. But you can pretty much skip all the items, and you can go straight to Red, who's way in the back of the place. Now, he has Pokemon that are above level 70, and a Pikachu, his signature Pikachu, at level 83, I think. 80-something. So, yeah, you should really train around in town and places before fighting Red, because he's pretty strong. Except for his Pikachu, all of his Pokemon are fully evolved. He has an Espeon, a Snorlax, And the three starters, the three original starters evolved. Blastoise, Venusaur, and Charizard. They all have strong moves. And yeah. So, after fighting Red, you can... if you want to fight Red over and over again, you have to beat the Elite Four. And speaking of the Pokemon League, there happens to be the rival. Sometime, I don't know, in Pokemon League, in the Pokemon League, Pokemon Center plays, and you can fight him. I think he gets progressively stronger Pokemon, so he's a good way to train. So, I guess that's it for this whole big explanation. Goodbye.